our show once again on NDD TV. Today, I'm honored to meet Major Boakye Gyan at his residence. Major, welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
Who is Major Boakye Gyan?
Oh, it's a long story. Remember, this year I'm 76. So
Congratulations.
you can write a book about that also.
Okay.
But I want to bring all together. I was born in the rural Bongo-Ahafo, where Nambu region, to a father who was a cocoa farmer and cocoa buyer. And the father was a chief, the uncle was a chief, my uncle was a chief. So people used to have a fun at me, so you were a rural aristocrat.
So is that where Osage for?
No, that is something that needs a bit of explanation.
Oh, okay. I was talking to you about the title Osage.
Yeah, Osage means a victorious warrior king.
Okay.
I mean, you just can't pick it from the street.
Okay.
In the olden days, when you return from war successfully, it's bestowed on you as a recognition of your effort.
Okay.
So the non-commissioned officers with me felt that I had done what I could to preserve the name of the uniform. So they went to my father, and my father said, the best title that fits me is Osage.
Okay.
You know, after a long debate the other options, that's it, because that gets close to the description of the captain.
Okay.
Osage, you know, so I picked that one. But there was the other option which I used later in life, which is the Okujima.
Okay.
Okujima means fighting for a nation.
Okay.
You know, it's fighting to save a nation. But that is low level now.
Okay.
Yeah, the Osahine is the one that captures the essence of my role as a leader of the uniform. Okay. And the successful one. Okay. You see, because it's no use making a coup and being arrested and busted or all of that.
Well, we will get to the uniform.
That's right.
Can you give us a little bit about your education background, how you ended up in Shimota with Rawlings?
That's right. Again, that's a long story.
Yeah.
My father used to have a fuel station in Japikru, which is about, at that time, the biggest town in the area. Okay. And he used to take me to the kindergarten there, you know, Presby kindergarten. And then later on, he decided that it was too tedious for him, driving 2 miles away and bringing me in and out. So he decided to put a 6-block classroom in Babianeha. And there was arteries of 3 or 4 villages leading to that town before you come to Japikru. So my father is a doctor, I don't know why he is like a military man. After he had finished building the school with furniture and everything set up, he organized or asked the Catholic mission to take over. And he didn't know how to enroll children because there was no children. So he blocked the road to access to the Japikru. Okay. And everybody coming from all the small villages leading to Babiana were forced to enroll in that school, 6-room classroom block, and that's where. And when it came to my turn, it was very dramatic. They told me that, you see, in those days, there was no record. The birth certificates and that kind of stuff. So you have to reach your ear.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
And if you couldn't reach your ears, there's no way they will enroll in class 1. And I was a very, small little kid. I couldn't reach my ear. And so they rejected me, and I said, no, I'm having nothing to do with that. I fell on the floor and started biting everybody inside. So Father Patrick is a white missionary. Okay. Looked at me and told my father that he should enroll me in school. Okay. And I was excited, but I didn't know there was a trick. They decided the kindergarten version was class 1A, class 1B, class 1C, class 1D before you get to class 2. Oh, okay. You see? So they enrolled me in class 1E. Oh, okay. Can you imagine? I had to wait in class 1, to catch up with my years. Unfortunately for them, every term they conducted the election, the exams out of the class. And then by the demands of the school, you have to push me to the next class. So within the year, I moved to class 1 proper. I didn't have to wait for 4 years. And that to me was one thing that I remember about the drama of my forcing myself into school, because I couldn't meet the demands of the rather primitive way of measuring age in those days.
You've always been a fighter. You fought your way through in
yeah,
your
because
early years.
that's me. I mean, I don't know whether it's from the DNA, from the bone, imperial bone I have, or whatever. But you know, before the Ashanti Empire, there was the Bono Empire.
I see.
You know, and I think I picked some of these things from the old tradition. And my father and the family also, we did not tolerate mediocrity, for instance. And my father was a lay magistrate. He didn't go to school, but he was a lay magistrate in the area, in the magistrate court.
How did that happen?
Well, he was a very smart guy.
I see.
he would give out hefty fines. So if you steal, the charges you give on you and the fines you give on you, you come home and tell you, look, you see what I did to that man. If you make a mistake of stealing, you'll go inside. Eh? So he made sure that of his 56 children, nobody ever was charged at the police station because of his.
How many children?
5, 6, 8 wives. My father was my mother was the 5th. You see, and I was the 19th of the children.
19th.
19th. And unfortunately, the way it depends on how you look at it.
Okay.
I'm the only, for the first 19, I'm the only survivor now. All the first 18 are gone and dead. So I used to have a joke of them when we have a family meeting. Say, I'm holding the baton now, and I am watching the time. Wow. I'm competing with my time, not with the baton. Okay. I'm not going to drop it anytime soon.
I see. Okay, so you'll be around for a long time then.
So I'm watching my time and then going. So basically, that's me. You know, it was a very competitive family. You need to do things to attract attention. That's why even to force to be enrolled in class 1E, I had to dramatize it. Nobody told me about it. But before then, the little story I normally tell, I don't want to offend my Christian friends here or over there. But it's also part of the story. I don't want to hide it. When I was, my father's brother, extended family, was a priest, Catholic priest. It's a Catholic community. So we're being taught catechism. And it's by a Dutch white missionary. He tells, where is God? So God is everywhere. Okay. Fine. Where is hell? Hell was burning. Okay. Where is heaven? Heaven was this. I said, there was something wrong there. Okay. I was about 6. So I put my hand up and said, oh, Father, can I ask a question? He said, go ahead. He said, you say God is everywhere? He said, so he must be in hell? I would like to be there.
At the age of 6?
6, you see. And he literally picked me up and threw it through the window. Because the children, you know, children are very nasty. They were cheering, they were cheering me on. And I went to my father and said, I'm not going to school again. Okay. The priest had thrown me out of the window. So he came, he was a craftsman, you know, so he put his tools down. He came to the school and had me re-enrolled, you know. Well, little episodes like that, you know, many of them, but the two dramatic one I have told you about. How I managed to squeeze myself to class 1E.
Okay. Moving forward, you finally had admission to Achimota.
Yes, but before then, see, in those days, the schools were structured in such a way that within the locality, district, there were little primary schools up to primary level. And about 7 or 8 of them will compete for a place in the only Catholic middle school there, you know, 56.
Do you want to step out, embraced in jewelry no attention can resist? Ahima Jewelry has fine pieces of rings, pendants, chains and bracelets inspired by 9 different uplifting Idinkra symbols, made in sterling silver and 18 CT plated yellow and rose gold. Ahima Jewelry is your first stop jewelry shop with worldwide delivery and extra attention on complimentary gift packaging. At Ahima, your jewelry are handmade with love.
And 300 people will sit exam for common entrance together in there. That was tough. And I remember when we took the exams, my class of 12, I ended up 13th in the class. So I got admission to the middle school there. But my brother had just finished trainee teacher at a Bricum Teacher Training College. And he was posted to Wamfie. So my father said, hey, take the trouble motor.
Who was this guy?
Mr. Amponsan, J.G. Amponsan.
Okay.
He's dead now, late. So my father was too happy to upload me to a teacher, to discipline me in the Presbyterian school. So from Bebianha Primary School, I moved on straight to Wamfie Middle School. And I found out that Wamfie Middle School, the challenge was not there, the competitive edge to go to secondary school. In those days, you have to take a common entrance with 3 triple Ks, yellow, blue, green, and the teachers will tell you in Bonfi that don't touch the schools, Ashmoti schools, universities, on the yellow sheet, because there's no way somebody from the village will be taken in there. So we were not allowed to do that. So I took Pokuare, and I was choosing. I passed, and my father went in to pay for the prospectus and everything, to pay for the fees. And when he was ready to count the money, the Beza was a bit disabled. I said, no, old man, hang on to your money. Your child is within the first 24. And we asked you to bring your cocoa buying, certificate, evidence that you are a cocoa buyer and a cocoa farmer. So he pulled it out and said, so automatically he has a full cocoa marketing board scholarship. Open, 24 of us. No hanky-panky business at all. Because my father was from the village. And I'm sure about a lot of them didn't have their parents who come with them. So after in Pokuare, I was among the top students there. So the headmaster wanted to make me a school prefect. And what I had discovered was that you don't become a school prefect in Pokuare and move on in the educational ladder, because you almost literally deputy headmaster. You manage the students on behalf of the school. So to get out of that quandary, I decided to choose schools that were not offering the subject that Pokuare was offering. Maori, St. Augustine's, and I think one other school I can't remember So when the headmaster, Mr. late Kalnakos, attended the headmaster's conference, he got very mad with me. He is a radical person. So, but he's good. He's a good student. So he asked me, as the headmaster of Ashmoti School, to enroll me in 6th form. I didn't choose it.
Okay.
So I was in the village when I got a telegram to attend the interview. I said, that's the wrong person, because I never chose it. And I look at it again, and the dress, everything was correct. So I went to Ashmoti School, and I was told that I was offered a place in 6th form. And that was a very interesting year. That was a year Nkrumah had introduced 1 year 6th form. And we were forced to do only 2 subjects. And man, it was going to be hectic. So I was given English and history. To do within 1 year, A-level, not West Africa, London School, London GCE, University of London, graded. So it was hectic, but finally they changed the subject. We couldn't do it. They changed the whole strategy, and we went back to the 2-year course and 3-year subjects and so forth and so forth. Nothing eventful happened, you know, except that I managed to qualify for admission to the University of Ghana. But something that is normally not known, you wouldn't be allowed to attend any of the 3 universities without attending the mandatory Kwame Nkrumah Institute of Geology at Winneba, now Winneba Education. And some of the, so he postponed, and then the classes were choked. The schools, the beds were choked. So he decided to, in 1964, postpone the entry to the universities, all the universities in 1963, to double the rooms for 64. That's why people like Atta Mills was 1 year ahead of me in National School. Cadbury became my classmate at Legon, Atwa Hoy, Uncle Atu, we call him. They're all my classmates, 64 group. And the very interesting thing about 64 groups, I'm not trying to blow my horn or our horn, but it's very interesting that since I made a fair jump and took over the country has been held together by intakes of 64.
Class of 64.
Yes, class of 64. Aforijan was the electoral commissioner and was critical phase in Ghana history.
Oh, okay.
Elizabeth Ohene, we used to call her Lizzie, you know, she was class of 64. Comrade Dufo, finance minister, was class of 64. A lot of them. You know, I can't Boakye and all those people. Boakye was ahead of us. Because Boakye was ahead of us. But offhand, I could Atwa Hoy and so forth and so forth. So
Akufo-Addo was it?
Yes, Akufo-Addo was in Legon Hall as a roommate to Farijan.
Okay.
You know, so that group, for some strange reason, have been thrown up to control this country since 1979, when I took over. You know, every year, the critical element in that year in politics in Ghana, Michael K, for instance, my classmate, the Speaker of the Parliament today. See, so this was the context in which we grew up, and I mean, those days, it was full of revolutionary zeal. And I remember very well one particular incident where we organized a well-turned-up dance, end-of-year dance, and the report returned 20p profit. I got very angry and took the constitution of the hall and decided to overthrow the government. Even at that time,
like overthrowing government and institutions.
Of my first attempt, and it worked.
And it worked.
Yeah. So I took the constitution, and all I needed is about 180 students to attend the emergency hall meeting. And I picked up, Adade was one of them, some of my classmates, Okwe, and everybody. I made it look like it was spontaneous, but I gave everybody a subject to speak on about our disaffection about the whole matters and all that. So, and the rule is that if at an emergency meeting like this, if the current executive managed to slip away with the gavel, then the meetings are null. So I put one of the heftiest guy at the gate there. If we attempt to run away, take the thing from there, and then we have made our revolution. As then now, Pencil was a guy, very heavy and very menacing looking. He stood at the gate there. So when Bruce, who was then the lawyer now, the chairman of the student committee of the hall, decided to run away with the gavel, he got hold of his legs and threw him to the air and got hold of the gavel. And that's where the revolution succeeded,
So you've always been, a person of revolutionary mindset.
I wouldn't say revolutionary mindset.
Going back to Achimota.
Yes.
Yeah. What happened with you, with your religious...
You see, what happened in Achimota school is that when I went there, I was given a form to fail,
Right.
which is mandatory. And on the form was a space called religious commitment. That's ancestral worshiping. I wrote it down like that. I mean, this is what I believed in. But apparently the headmaster and the school authority didn't take notice of that until, you see, there is an arrangement at the school where you, between at least 7 and 8, you have to be in a church or mosque. You know, you couldn't loiter around. But here am I couldn't go run around pouring libation and stuff like that. So I chose the library to go and study. Feeling like, then I was one day coming from the library when the fabric's door was adjacent to the headmaster's door. So as I was descending, I saw the headmaster was saying, "Hey, young man, what are you supposed to be doing here?" I said, "Oh, I'm catching up with myself." "But you're supposed to be in a mosque or a church or something like that." I said, "No, sir. As ancestral worshipers, we do our organization, our religion is not organized like yours." He got very mad. He said, come follow me. So I went to his massive office and he opened the file, called for my file and looked at it. And he saw that I have written ancestral worship. He said, "What the hell is this nonsense about ancestral worshiping?" I said, "Sir, calm down." There's nothing nonsensical about it. If you take your time, I will explain to you what that religion is. Look, I am doing Latin. And we are supposed to be the Homo sapiens. Africans are supposed to be the Homo sapiens of humanity. So our religion must be the primary religion. So you can't come and tell me any received religion by Christ or Muhammad or superior to ours. I don't accept it. So he looked at me and said, "Okay, meet me in my house on Sunday." So I went to his massive house. He used to be Achimota College for the University of Ghana in the beginning. And the table was from here to here, like this, occupied by prominent people in the academia and royalty in Ghana. Anumri Chief was there. The Muslim man around the area was there. The Professor McQueen, who was a professor of Roman religion, pagan religion, was there. Professor Alamé, who had been thrown out of Britain because he is supposed to be discovered this physics, nuclear physics. You know. They were all there. So the headmaster started saying, "I have a problem with this young man here. He says he's ancestral worshiper. I have never come across any such thing. So either he's playing pranks with me or he's sincere. So I've brought you all here to examine his claims very closely." Oh, then I briefed her. So I said, "Okay, so in that case, before this proceeding starts, I need a saucer and a glass of water to pour libation." And everybody was sort of looking at me. I said, "Sir, I'm saying otherwise I won't do it. Because my religion forbids me from taking such an important, discussion, taking part when I don't ask for their guidance. So can I just have a sauce? I won't drop it in your cup anyway." So I had a butler who brought the water and the glass, and man, it was looking back, it was very massive. I look at the sky and in the binoculars, and they were almost all white and expatriates. You didn't understand what I was saying, but I decided I was determined to frighten them. Asasiya, 8 goddess, Nanu, someone for Adriana or Yoko. If there are any people here who have any bad intentions about the meeting we are going to have, take care of them for me. Then the Catholic priest was mad. Said, "This is absolutely ridiculous." I said, "Hey, calm down." That's what led to the age of revolution in Europe. And you only wipe yourself out. Your intolerance is very offensive. What is wrong with what I've done? That's my religion. If you believe in, because you are in Carlo Castle, you think yours is superior to me, ours is older than yours. So the headmaster calmed us down. And then they asked me to go outside for a while, came back. They said they've had a meeting and the headmaster decided to retain me in the school, provided that I will not organize ancestral worship unit in the Achimota school. And I said, "Look, That's the difference between my religion and your religion. We are born into it. Any African in this school is ancestral worshipper. You're African first and foremost. And we are the Homo sapiens, or whatever they call it, creator of humanity. So our religion must be superior to any other religion that was born after that. So I'm not here to apologize for this kind of situation. So they kept quiet and they said, okay, so I am not going to organize it. Any African in this school is an ancestral worshipper primarily. If he chooses to be a Presbyterian, Catholic, that's their choice. I'm not going there. You know. So they admitted me. And I did just that. But another important intervention that actually saved my life at the university, because we were a group of students who were very critical of CPP. Either you are part of, you are a follower, you got a following within the party, or you are not. Any following within it. So I joined a group that were very critical of CPP. So I was returning from N block, if you have been in the University of Presbyterian, that is sociology side of the thing. When the police van pull up with a clipboard, came to me and said, "Are you Boakye Gyan, sir?" A policeman called a student a sir. There was a problem there. You know, I said, "Yes. What can I do for you?" So I'm afraid you are wanted at Plaza House. I said, then I look backwards. I said, "Are you sure you're talking to the right person?" I said, "That is if you're Boakye Gyan." So okay, let's go. So they bundled me into the police van and took me to Plaza House at that time. And it's an experience I will never forget. They dumped me at the back of entrance to Nkrumah's office.
Whose office?
Kwame Nkrumah, President Nkrumah.
Okay.
And Kroduse was the interior minister or some such thing. And he walking, and as he's coming back, he's looking at me like I was some demon somewhere, you know. And finally, the door swung open, and I was asked to go and talk to the old man. And he was sitting at the stream, and the guy, I sensed for power. You know, you couldn't see his profile from the door. So even if you wanted to go and kill him, 5 or 4, you'll be frightened to death about it. You'll be shaking. But his profile, he was far sitting at the other end there. So I got it. How I managed to walk from the door to his massive desk, don't ask me, I don't know. So I went to the studio, put my hand meekly behind me, and he was apparently reading the brief, which was urging him to detain me as a troublemaker at the university. So he put his pen down, with big eyes rolling, a booming voice. He said, "Kojo, what's the problem?" I said, "Hey, another wrong move. He's not my friend. How can you call me Kojo?" You know. So I determined to scandalize him. Seriously, I mean, I'm not joking. I said, "Mr. President, let's face it. You could ask me to be sent to you here. So I don't have a problem. You must have a problem." So he put his pen down and looked at me. I said, "You have confirmed almost everything in this paper. No cabinet minister of mine has come and stood in front of me and been talking like this." So, sir, but without offense, I didn't mean offense. I'm a poor student, you know, steady, and then you ask the police people to bring me here. And then you come and ask me, what's my problem? I don't have any problem. You must have a problem. So he said, okay, follow me. Then the Bureau of African Research was just adjacent. And those days were telegram. There was no computer and all these fast food things today. And he would go there and pull a computer message, telegram, read it and put it there. And I was following him meekly. The thing that struck me was that it was an all-white Chinese Russians who were in that room. The only black woman, two people, Smith, was a journalist from America, African American, and Georgina Bacha, later on became the wife of Kofi Bacha. who was secretary there. The only black faces there. So he came and slammed me to his chair. And I was quite moved. So you see, I am in office but not in power. See the people there? Not a black Ghanaian is there. So I expect some of you to, that's why I've doubled the intake to university. Go there and study and come and fill this post for me. I was confused. You were talking to a president, the most powerful African president at that time. Talking to me like that, I thought it was a joke. So then he said, well, I've just finished reading the brief. And last year, this was second year, you read sociology, linguistics, and English. Why did you do that? So I want to be a writer. So what did I go to do with it? So sociology is the science of society. Linguistics is the science of language. English is the lingua franca we have. So I decided to do that to deepen my understanding of our use of the English language. I took it here and there if I can. He shook his head, called for her secretary, came back. Now there was a magazine called Black Power with a Black Power fist behind it. He pulled it up, he gave it to me to thumb through it. He said, you have a newspaper to come and help edit. On every holiday, the next day come here, that's your office. See, Flagstaff House opposite him. Hey, Kelly, I thought it was I thought it was a dream. You were sent to the place to be detained and you walk away with a job. I mean, that's what defined my attitude towards the man. That he had attention to details. You know, if he hadn't asked about the subject I did at the first year, I wouldn't have told him I wanted to be a writer, and he wouldn't have given me that job. So I came home to school, and everybody was telling, what happened? I said, oh, I have a job. And I became an instant hero, you know, but that was it. Unfortunately, it was in November 1965. Since he went to Hanoi and never came back. So I never took up my job.
Oh, so you actually never?
Never. Because 65 November was when the confrontation took place. When the confrontation interview took place. And he went to Hanoi in February 1966. And never came back. So I didn't have any job waiting for me anymore. You know. And I got terribly disappointed in the soldiers and all of that. And I took a very critical position on them. It's natural. You're taking my job away from me. You think I see you laughing.
As you were then opposing Nkrumah whilst you were in school, after meeting him, did
I changed completely. It changed. My perspective changed overnight. Because he was not.
How would you describe him?
Nkrumah was somebody his presence was electric. Very electrifying. You know, apart from the fact that his voice was booming, his eyes were big, rolling. Everything about him was special. You know. Plus, he has acquired this reputation of being the first president of Ghana. You know, and doing all kinds of things, some wrong, some right, some true, some untrue. So you will be foolish to approach him, get his presence, and feel that you are in a normal person's presence. You know, very frightening. I'm not the type of person who will come and say, you know, I enjoy. No chance. You know, I was frightened to hell until he decided to relax with me and give a famous statement that I am in power. I am in office, but I am in power. That touched me a lot because I was doing sociology and I understood what he meant by that. And went on to explain that I want you to come and take yourself seriously and face some of these jobs for me so that we can take the African Revolution along. As if I have known him for ages.
At what point did you decide to form the Freedom Africa? Is it Free African Movement?
Well, you see, his removal had destroyed the revolutionary fervor in Africa. The liberation camps in Ghana was ransacked, and some were thrown away, and everything was turned upside down. So for some of us, we were seeing another phase of the African Revolution. And Nkrumah had been destroyed, and there was this influx of Europeans and Americans taking over the country, and we didn't think it was right. So we set up underground movement to study the new situation. So at that time we started questioning again the rationale for soldiers to be in power for that level, and it was not enough as a student. So when I finished university, I decided to join the media. Ghanaian Times, it used to be Guinea Press. Okay.
Just before that, was there jubilation after the overthrow of Nkrumah as news circulated and probably various writings?
No, there was. I mean, I'm not some. That's also took me aback because I've had a close link with him. So what are they jubilating about? This man, we will not get him again. Oh. So I took a trip to the village that day to also study the reaction. And I was confused. All over the country, people were dancing and drumming and, just all kinds of rumors were flying around. So I went back to the village and came back home and started settling down, disappointed. At least I know that my job was not going to be on offer again. So when I finished, I decided to continue the media practice because Nkrumah had fired me up and I wanted to be in the media. So I went to Ghanaian Times. But incidentally, when we were in university, I used to write a lot of articles for Graphic and Times. And I remember we met in front of BAM Library one day, me, Akufo-Addo, Modibo Crime, and a whole lot of young and upcoming Nkrumahis. And we're even thinking of forming a government after Nkrumah was gone. And because I was writing for Ghanaian Times, and I was, you are fit to be our cultural minister. Everybody, it was consensus. Akufo-Addo, this guy, I can't remember exactly what we gave him, but everybody was assigned something to prepare himself for. So we were surprised, including Akufo-Addo, that Nkrumah his overthrow was so popular.
Which one? The current Akufo-Addo?
Yes, he's my classmate at the Logan 64 group.
Global issue with the desire to help others come to a resolve in personal and business affairs is why Andy D Legal and Immigration Associate was established.
We specialize in overseas British passport applications, bails and temporary admission, deportation and detention cases.
The profound pattern in achieving positive results with fragile cases in immigration, nationality, European Union and human rights law, adoption, marriage, divorce, litigation, and so on, up to date, has been broken, and that is why our client base continues to expand.
We also do representations at the UK border agencies and overseas consulate, human rights law, and settlement and leave to remain applications.
We have the right keys to unlock any case across the spectrum of law, locally in London and across the borders in Ghana, where our other branches are established.
We are located at 44 Broadway, Stratford, E15 1XH. Our telephone number is 0203 1300 751.
For some of you who don't know, the second act of Parliament, 1958, was for Nkrumah to outlaw all religiously based parties, regionally based parties in the country, and give them a deadline. That if they didn't form up a unified group, you ban them. So as a result, they got together. NPP was the Northern People's Party, Dongo's group, NLM, then Nationalist Party, AYA, Awan Youth Association by Palu, and Olenu's Party, Ghana Nationalist Party. They were all small syncretic groups, which was Arabanyo or somewhere else, you know. And there was no match for CPP, which was a nationwide, organized nationwide. You see, so something had to be done to get the country on the. So they formed a united party in response to that. Therefore, technically, Kwame Nkrumah gifted these People's Party political tradition a united front against him. Can you imagine? Other leaders, dictators, spend their time disintegrating their opponents, killing them if they can. I say, hey, if you want to give me a fight, unite together and let's have a real democratic fight. This one will work. That's exactly what happened. And until the political class in this country acknowledge the huge nature of Kwame Nkrumah and what he meant for us, and accept and apologize to Ghanaians for destroying him, we are going nowhere. There is a little episode I normally refer to. One day I pick up a newspaper, I think from Ghanaian Times, graphic, and they were calling Akufo-Addo Showboy. I say, hey, this is treason. Kwame Nkrumah's title, the man gave us independence, at least for nothing else. He did this to turn us into a republic, and his mantle, his name was Kwame Nkrumah Showboy. What does Akufo-Addo done to be called a showboy? He should tell his people to drop it. It's reasonable. Fortunately, they have stopped it now. You see. But just also show us that we in Africa have short memories. We don't examine things critically. And we use them recklessly. How can anybody call anybody after Nkrumah a showboy when he hasn't fought for our independence? You know, he hasn't created a political party tradition to fight against him and beat them. He created a republic for us. Oh yes. When they talk about free HHS, Nkrumah created free HHS. The product is Mahama and Aliu and the other Mahama. Progressively, it started from the north. So there's nothing new about what NDC is trying to do. That we start from the deprived areas. No, NDC.
Okay.
We say we will do it progressively.
Okay.
But they say they started it now, ill-prepared. Now we are caught in the traffic light, segregated schools. It doesn't work for anybody in the long term, you see. So it's about time Daniel started taking a long-term view of things and plan long-term, long haul, rather than knee-jerk reaction. You know, we want to win power, therefore we are going to set up YTS when there are no classrooms for it. So you have to set up a segment.
Would you personally blame Afrifa and Kutuka for the downfall of Ghana?
Whom?
Afrifa.
Downfall of Nkrumah.
Yeah. No, of Ghana.
Oh, they played a role. They were agents, local agents. If they had not moved to remove Kwame Nkrumah from power in 1966, 24 February, Ghana's history and African history would be different today. I can guarantee you that. They turn us backwards, they crawl backwards. And history will judge us on at that level.
On the day that they changed the name of the international airport, how did you feel? To a man who actually took about the man who
you see, there are so many things if you want to worry about. I'm not the type of person who just get worried about things and complain. If I don't like it, I want to go and do something about it. You know, it was a bad move. You know, to name our entry port after somebody who destroyed Kwame Nkrumah, the doyen of African politics, the liberation leader. People were queuing to Ghana to have a look. If Natim will go back and spy Mandela, all of them came here. You understand? So it turned the revolution, African revolution, clock backwards. And if that's not bad enough, to name the person who instigated it all, our entry port after him was bad advertisement. I still believe it. So what do you tell your children? What do I tell my kid, 8-year-old and 8 years old, who could carry? Why is he still there? Why is the name still there?
When you formed the Free African Movement,
Yes.
was that part of your motive to?
Well, I won't say it was a single factor.
Okay.
You see, the disappointment from the overthrow of Nkrumah that some of us felt, it was not necessary, forced us to think again about the drift of the African Revolution. And rather than just sit down and complain, we said, well, there must be a way out of this. But we don't just want to do it ad hoc. We must have an intellectual base for it. And those days, man, the intellectual climate was very heavy. So we got together some of a few friends. In fact, the youngest editor of the Punch, Kwame Nkrumah's newspaper, Kwame CV, got hold of me. He was also a journalist. And we sat down a number of sessions, you know, looking at the African situation. And we came to the conclusion that incidentally, a small incident might also be of interest to you and listeners. I went to Castle to cover General Ankara as a chairman of NLC. And he was receiving guests, and he had put his hand, like this gentleman there, you know, his chin on his thumb like this. So I said, cut it. And the next day I splashed the front page. Oh, I was called to the castle for trying to embarrass one of these boys who doesn't like us around. I said, why? I didn't put your head in your fingers. That's petulant. Put it in a guard room for overnight. I said that I was much into signal guard room in those days. I've never been to any military. They put a wet blanket there for me to sleep overnight. Fortunately for me, the soldiers, I don't know what they seen about me, did not allow me to sleep on the blanket. So we sat down like this, took overnight. And I could see that some of them from Boys Company in particular were very smart. Their knowledge was above some of the officers who had failed their O-levels and had been pushing there to fill a gap. Say, hey, here's the future for this armed forces reform in Ghana, you know. But I was losing the argument, the trend. So it was not one day solution. We were meeting, having meetings here and there, and I remember one time Mrs. Nancy Tibu, who was the wife of the first editor of the proprietor of the Pioneer, used to be the courier between the CPP group and Nkrumah abroad. So she came and told me a very moving story. She called her for a meeting in Conakry. They said, am I writing on the pseudonym? Or is that my real name? So she asked, and I said, I've been born Boakye Gyan, you know. And apparently he had a notebook that he was writing down names of future leaders. you know, and I wasn't there. And he threw up his hand and said, well, according to the woman, that the people make their leaders. You know. So it was a very hectic day.
At what point did Rollins and yourself met? How did you meet?
We met at Ashmushi School because when I won the battle to be ancestral worshipper, the headmaster, I don't know, it was a sense of fair play or whatever, put a huge notice on the school notice board. Said that citizen Boakye Gyan is recognized as ancestral worshipper. So from today on, he's allowed to do his own thing during the church hours. So people thought I was a heathen, you know. They said he's going. They didn't want to get close. So Rollins and Koyoli walk up to me and say, "Sir, we are proud of what you are doing." I said, "What am I doing?" I said, "Oh, you don't feel anything. I'm supposed to be a Catholic. I don't feel anything about it. But if I decided that I'm a ancestral worshiper, my mother will kill me." I said, "No, go and stand up for your right and stop fooling around." And that's where he became friends. So anytime after that, he meet me and pump the air, you know, in the proper revolutionary salute. And when I decided to join the army and I was enrolled, as fate would have it, I was sent to Signal Regiment. And Rollins was then resident of Signal Regiment. And there's a hall and a chamber like this. And they put a wardrobe in between the two, and then by partition, so that I was in one room and he was in one room. As always, he was unruly. He had a huge motorbike, and he would come from wherever he went midnight, making a lot of noise. So I kept cool and decided that I was going to surprise him one day. So he had a Swiss girlfriend that he had come in that night with. So I gauged her until he was in the act. I hope you understand what I mean. And I pulled the wardrobe aside. And he jumped up. I said, "What the hell do you think you are doing? If people are scared of you, me, I'm not one of them. So take note." And I banged it and I went to sleep. So the next day, he was curious. He didn't know who I was. So Beho was one of my Genfi house monitors under me. So I was going to the kitchen, the mess. I saw these two people standing there pointing at me. So I went and I said, "What's your problem?" He said, "Oh, my brother, this is Rollins. We know we were in National School when you became ancestral worshiper, and we all you still did you." And I said, "Oh, so that's it." I said, then I told him that, "Stop fooling. This, I don't believe in this misdirected form of radicalism. Come and see me in the evening and we'll talk more serious about revolutions and stuff like this." And that's how it started. And he was struggling with current affairs. So I offered to invite, because the motivation was him. I needed to help him. Because he was restless, radical. So I decided to give a lecture, organize a lecture on Saturdays at Bema Hall for all the officers. Current affairs was tied, promotion exams was tied to your salary. So he had lost 3 years seniority because he failed to pass the exam. And I was the best man at his wedding, and I was getting embarrassed with that kind of stuff. So I decided to help him out and organize the current affairs lectures and other officers to come in and prepare. I would be marking and picking up the big brains, and that kind of stuff for revolution to come.
You always had, aside passing him, you were not really teaching.
No, it's a cover.
It was a cover.
Yes, cover. No, I wouldn't say cover up. A cover in intelligence term means you claim to be something you are not. The idea was get an organization that will survey the system. Yeah, but you couldn't do that without being busted. You see, So I said, hey, come, let's learn current affairs. You know, I went to education department, even though I was not there, to allow me to prepare the questions and all of that and mark them. And I would call them meeting tutorials and all that. That's the best form of identifying who were revolutionary material at that time. Without being noticed. You see? Yeah. You're laughing now.
I mean, it's just strange to find out that from even childhood,
Yes.
from your youthful days, you had that idea of organizing people to revolutionize,
To fight for their rights.
Yeah, it was something genius about you. Is that a gift, or is it something you just?
I think
that you can pick up?
I owe it from my father.
Okay.
You see, he was a type of person, even if he didn't like something, unless it was against the law,
All right.
he will allow you to pursue your interests. But he warn you, don't break the law. If you break the law, you'll be in trouble. Other than that, he used to say that for women it's game. If you can even go and organize Queen Elizabeth for your girlfriend, that's your problem. You know, I mean, we say for fun, but it just gave us a leeway to operate without this pompous attempt. I think because he didn't go to school too, you know, it has something to do with it. He gave his children that leeway, and I don't know why I pick it out from him, of all his children, 56 of them, but looking back, I also was a craftsman. In fact, when they changed the subject to 3 years, 2 years, 6 form, and they changed the subject, we had to add another subject. I added fine arts to complete my 3 subjects, you know, and I did very well and passed very well. So, and my father was a craftsman, you know, very good craftsman. He won the competition in 1956, art and craft show in Kumasi. He can sit you down and sculpture you, and you see no difference. You see. So I guess there was a bit of the artist in him and me, iconoclastic, you know, and also because he was a disciplinarian, you know, lay magistrate and stuff like that. We were cautious not to break the bond, you know, and things like that. But
we're gonna dive into the serious affairs just after the break.
no problem.
Okay.
Do you want to step out, embraced in jewelry no attention can resist? Ahima Jewelry has fine pieces of rings, pendants, chains, and bracelets inspired by 9 different uplifting Idinkra symbols, made in sterling silver and 18 CT plated yellow and rose gold. Ahima Jewelry is your first stop jewelry shop with worldwide delivery and extra attention on complimentary gift packaging. At Ahima, your jewelry are handmade with love.